Thanks, Chairman Johnson. The bill 1526 we just voted on, and thank you all, Consensus Construction Procurement Improvement Act of 2015, a mouthful. The bottom line is it helps small businesses with regard to contracting with the federal government on construction, and it's something we've worked with many members of this committee on. Actually, identical requirements for DOD were in last year's NDAA that Senator McCain shepherded through, and the amendment today that was offered basically was to avoid the duplication with the NDAA. But I want to, again, thank my colleagues. I want to thank Senator Ayotte for being a co-sponsor, so Senator Carper doesn't embarrass me by saying it himself. Bottom line is this helps us to provide a framework of much more transparency for construction contracting. It increases the efficiency of federal government procurement, encourages more small businesses to participate. It has a two-phase where they can know early on whether or not they actually are qualified for the construction project. It's supported by a broad group of people, and the Congressional Budget Office has said that it's revenue neutral. So I thank you for your support of that today. It's good government legislation that will help small businesses. Second, I want to talk about the Federal Property Management Reform Act. This is something apparently Senator Carper talked about just before I arrived, but I think this is the kind of legislation we ought to be passing here because it helps to eliminate waste and you know, helps to improve management of one of our great assets in the federal government, which is millions of properties that the federal government either owns or leases across the country. Senator Johnson, you've been a leader on this, and I'm co-sponsor of your bill called the Federal Asset Sale and Transfer Act. That already went through committee during our last markup. This legislation that Senator Carper has offered, that I'm happy to be his partner on, is complementary, in my view, to what you offered. And in fact, as you know, we had some exchange where you actually provided some provisions back to this legislation so that it could be complementary. But bottom line is it creates the database to be able to do these transfers more efficiently. And this is something I've worked on for a long time, going back to mid-2000s, and it's something that I think has tremendous potential, one, to be bipartisan, but two, to actually reduce some of the costs in government at a time when we're facing these $19 trillion in debt. So I appreciate the support for that today, and thanks Senator Carper for his hard work on this legislation.
Any other